All right, good afternoon, garden friends. Today I am going to be working in my garden beds, getting my zucchini, my tomatoes, my red and green peppers. I'm gonna go ahead and plant my green bean seeds and my edamame seeds. Get those guys in the garden, and then also my uh, cherry tomatoes and my regular tomatoes, all along with me doing some potatoes from following the millennial gardener. So come along with me while we go ahead and start getting this stuff planted, because the beds, two of the beds I already have filled, because I was trying my hand in some other stuff that the cabbage didn't do too well, and I only ended up with one Brussels sprout plant that looks like it's going to be producing some stuff. So come along with me while we go ahead and start to get this stuff planted. Okay, so like I said, the beds were filled, but due to them settling, this right here is my red and green onions, but the soil has settled down a little bit, but I'm not going to aggravate those guys because they're doing well. So what I'm going to do is the zucchini squash, I'm going to go ahead and get planted on the edge here, because as the leaves grow, that'll give it an edge to spill over without spilling over into here. So, and then got a little fertilizer, which is the blood meal by Espoma. And it says to plant them, and they're actually heirloom black beauties. It says full sun, 6+ hours, which it'll get here. Plant depth is the depth of the container, and then they say it matures in 48 days. So I'll be getting some zucchini probably mid-June, so let's go ahead and get these guys planted. And that looks like a good, 2.5 inches deep. And I sort of rescued these because they were looking sickly. And the one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to leave some room, because I do have some marigolds that I literally want to put all the way around, and some weave in between to help with the bugs. And then I'm going to put 3 here, and then I'm going to put 3 in the back garden area. All right, next I have a combination of both red and green peppers. And these guys, these are the sweet red peppers, bell peppers. Matures in 60 to 70 days. Plant in full sun. They get 18 to 24 inches tall, and you plant them apart in rows of 24 to 36 inches. I'm not going to plant them that far apart. I still want air circulation for them, but I had read somewhere, the closer that you end up, planting them, the less likelihood of weeds, the little bugs that like to feast on them, those are the red. Make sure I mark them so that I know. And what I'm gonna be trying to do is between the two beds, the one here and this one, as far as the most for the sun, the things that like the sun is where I'm going to be focusing on. All right, let's do some green peppers. And then I did water these guys. So, and then it's supposed to rain tomorrow. So rainwater is always good for freshly planted vegetables. Okay. Those are the green. All right, now, these here are the Husky Cherry Red cherry tomatoes. I so love them because they're so sweet. Full sun, 36 inches apart, bury 2/3 of the plant, you know, so. I'm probably gonna put these guys in the back area so they're not blocking the other stuff. And I got 2 of those. And then I got some big boy tomatoes that I'm gonna plant in this bed, and then the one in the back to where, and I think I'm gonna, we still have to fill that back one up. So I want a little time in between. So like succession planting for these guys. And I'm assuming because they call them big boys, they get a nice size. And then what I'll do is I have a trellis that I'm gonna sit right here in the center for the 4 of them to grow up in, or grow around, I should say. Oh, look at this. He would have got me as a bumbler on there. You got to get off. Go fly away. These are the big boys. Center. Where's my egg. Oh, pesky. Fill a couple little drops. All right, now that's done. Let me go ahead and get the marigolds so I can put around here. And then I'll definitely get some mulch to put over here so it keeps it nice and moist. And it's so amazing how I was reading about, you know, the plants that you put together, plant together, how they end up working with each other. And I do believe the tomatoes work well with the green peppers. Okay, there we go. Everything is in on this side. And like I said, go ahead and get some mulch and put on these, and then water them so that they can stay nice and moist. And then I will start filling up that back bed, and then like this one here is for my lettuce. Kevin ended up building me a little small arch frame so that I could keep the lettuce from getting that direct sun. So, all right, so I've gotten my first vegetable bed filled. Kevin is filling the back one because that's where I want to put my spinach and lettuce. Because this is a full sun garden area, I want to at least have the protection of the greenhouse to be able to cast a little bit of shadow on the lettuce. But then he also built me a unit that I can end up draping cloth over to block some of the direct sunlight that'll be coming back here. So the one thing that I am going to do is go ahead and get the bed mulch. Like I said, I have zucchini, green and red peppers, cherry tomatoes, big boy tomatoes, and then I have my white and red onions here that are doing really well. So, no.
Oh, you said big boy.
Shut up. So, and the one thing that I'm doing, you know, because I noticed with my cabbage, the bugs was eating it alive. So, I'm actually going to be trying out this aromatic cedar to help keep the bugs away. So, let's go ahead and get this coated on there. It rained yesterday and a little bit today, so the vegetable garden is nice and moist. And make sure I put a nice healthy layer on here. And the other thing that I ended up doing as a bug repellent, and then also just to add some color to the garden, is I planted spearmint and marigolds in here. Oh, and the other thing that I'm going to end up doing is putting my trellis right here up in the center for my big boy tomatoes to grow around and have that as support. It is actually really windy today because, like I said, we ended up having a storm that came through. And this is my first time dealing onions. So I know the one thing that they said when they're ready is when the green starts to really yellow, and they're still nice and green. Oh, I feel a couple drizzles. Guess the storm wasn't really over. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get this mulch down, seeing that it's starting to rain. So at least this bed is done, and then I'm going to get my spinach in the ground too, in the bed. So, and I'll show you that when I'm done. All right, so we got the next bed filled up. I'm going to go ahead and get my spinach in here, and like I said, this is a full sun area, but the greenhouse and then the little archway that Kevin made for me to protect my lettuce, once I get it in here, the lettuce planet, he'll go ahead and get that set up for me. But what I end up getting is Bonnie spinach. It says part shade, 3 to 6 hours, spacing 12 inches apart. I do believe, based off of where I'm placing this at, we'll be able to get spinach, and I'll keep it cool. And then I actually even saw one of those solar fans that I could snap on here and have the fan keeping the air circulating so that we could possibly get more spinach. So let's go ahead and get these guys planted. The one thing that I did notice is that this spinach here was bolting, and I think it was the millennial gardener says that when that happens, that means it needs to get put into a bigger container. So I think this is a pretty big container that I'm going to be putting it in, but I'm going to snip that off. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get the mulch put on it before he puts the the cover that he made for me on. This is what he did. Isn't this so neat? Because a lot of the vegetables that I'm going to be growing prefer full sun, but like I said, I wanted some spinach because we love it on salads, on ciabatta bread with tomatoes and balsamic dressing, you know, just that good stuff. So I'm putting a nice healthy layer on there so that it'll keep the soil moist and cool. Those guys are done. Let's see where he's at so he can go ahead and get this attached. Come on. All right, so this is what he built me so I could protect my spinach. And then when I choose to put lettuce in there, I'll do so. And all he did was put, use treated 2x4s and then made a, what do you call that?
Slot in the table saw.
Yeah, the slot in the table saw, and then worked in the metal screen in between it to keep me safe, you know, so I don't get cut or anything like that.
Put a screw in the whole in.
Yeah, and he used screws to hold it in. So, like I said, you know, my goal is when it starts to get super hot, I will put over a blanket cloth to help shade these guys out.
Just hold it on with them little clips, the little paper clips, the black ones.
Yeah, I could do that. And that'll make it a whole lot easier so these guys stay nice and cool while they are providing sustenance for us. Okay, so the 2 garden beds are done for where I'm at right now. So got my big boy tomatoes, got my cage so they can climb up, my spinach back here, and one of the things that I did was I lined it up with lavender because it'll get a nice size and also add as a shade for my spinach, even with my shade cloth on it. Well, I am like so excited about this new journey of growing our own sustenance through our vegetable garden. And I so appreciate you taking this journey with me. So once again, thank you for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner, and I look forward to you checking out my next video.